Bitcoin is creating a special secret structure and you will experience a very huge breakout very soon, but be careful because there is some insider trading going on. Jeff Bezos is selling his Amazon shares and the Nvidia CEO is selling his shares as well. How's that gonna affect the Bitcoin price? I will reveal it to you in this video.
My crypto paradise.
Hello ladies and gentlemen of the Paradise Club, this is Simon from My Crypto Paradise, and in the previous videos we've been talking about that if we will be able to reclaim this resistance and turn it into a support, the next price discovery target of Bitcoin will be at $121,000. As you can see, we have exactly hit this zone of resistance, and then I've told you in the latest video that I want to see this resistance level to be confirmed by a bearish retest, and that's also what we have got right here. So something is cooking right now on this chart and also behind the scenes. Okay, we will get back to this, but firstly we will take a look at some insider data, what's going on behind the scenes, and then we will go through ultra high time frame, high time frame, and finally we will go back to medium time frame. But first of all, I want to share with you what's going on right here on the footprint. All right, so basically what we are waiting for, what we want to see is something similar what happened right here at the top of the price at around $122,000. As you can see, we have had loads of buy-in imbalances right here, stacked ones, 3 in a row on 1 hour candlestick patterns. And what happened after that, because we have seen these stacked buy-in imbalances, we have started to push to the downside. Why? Because these buy-in imbalances been absorbed by smart money. Okay, as you can see, loads of buying pressure happened right here, but then the price action wasn't able to continue go to the upside, and the next candles started to close below this buying imbalances, and these buys got trapped. Okay, this is something what's called absorption. The smart money basically at the time of lower time frame consolidation been absorbing the buying pressure and been executing their sell limit orders thanks to it. All right, you need to understand the market whales, the people that are handling loads of money, all they care about is your liquidity, is the liquidity of retail. Okay, because otherwise they're not able to push the millions of dollars they are handling, and it can be hedge funds, it can be institutions. I'm not talking about BlackRock. BlackRock even doesn't hold any Bitcoin, they are just buying the Bitcoin for their retail clients. Okay, I'm talking about institutions that are participating on the market as day traders. Okay, I'm talking about that. And right now we are consolidating below the moving average trend line. As you can see right here on the lower time frame, it's much better visible, but we are basically consolidating below this moving average trend line. So it's very important to understand from the footprint perspective what's going on behind the scenes, and with the footprint you basically have this kind of X-ray vision what's going on. Okay, and as you can see right now we are having a buying imbalances as well right here, stacked 3 in a row. Similarly what we have had right here, 3 in a row as well, 1 2 3 on 1 hour candle. And as you can see, the price action is consolidating and we are not able to move to the upside after these stacked buying imbalances, and this is a dangerous sign because it basically suggests that somebody is absorbing the buying pressure. If we take a look at the order book suit, we can see we are in a negative numbers, minus 346. It means that there is more sell limit orders going in the market since 18th of July. Okay, so somebody is distributing this price action with sell limit orders, and as you already know, if you are subscribed in this channel and you are smashing the like button, the smart money are mostly using limit orders, because if they would be trading with market orders they would be smashing buy and sell buttons, and basically it would create huge movements to the upside or to the downside, right? So they need to play smartly with limit orders most of the time, and that is why watching the order book suit is extremely important, so you can understand what's going on. Are the smart money distributing or accumulating? And at the moment it seems like they are distributing. If we take a look at some big buy and sell walls, we can see that a huge sell wall is above us at around $120,000. This will be working as a resistance. From the spot exchange perspective, we can see also a huge sell wall at around $125,000. $48 million is sitting sitting in the order book right there, so it will be working as a resistance. As a support, we can expect that this buy wall will be quite nicely holding the price at least for some time, if it's not just a spoofing, at around $115,000. Remember this one, okay? From the spot exchange, we can see at $115,000, around that level, loads of buy limit orders as well. So remember this price, because from the technical perspective, $115,000 and $110,000, where $13 million is sitting, is going to be very important, okay? If we take a look at the CVD, the cumulative volume delta at the spot exchange, we can see distribution. We can see clearly we are creating lower highs and lower lows. If we take a look at a cumulative volume delta together with the open interest on futures exchange in the same structure, we can see loads of green numbers, and we are definitely can see that the retail is opening loads of long positions at this structure right here, okay? So this is important to understand the perspective between spot and futures exchange. As you know, spot is usually leading, the futures is basically just a liquidity provider. As you can see, the open interest is also not declining, it's consolidating together with the cumulative volume delta from the futures exchange. So this is very important for you to understand. If we take a look on our website mycryptoparadise.com and we take a look at fear and greed index, you can see how nicely we are declining from the 80 level that I have been talking about. From the 80, we have been topping out for multiple times. For example, right here in May 8th, the Bitcoin dropped from around $110,000. After that, when the market sentiment started to get more in a fear mode, we have finished at around $99,000, all right? And right now we can see that we are declining from the extreme greed and we are cooling down a little bit, but on the daily time frame, we are still in a big greed numbers. This is important for you to understand, because as a mean reversion trader, at least for me and for my original trading strategy that I'm sharing with you inside of Paradise Family VIP with my Paradise team, I always want to go against the crowd, and I always want to trade with the minority of people with the smart money, right? So right now on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have been declining from around the 80 level as well, and right now we are jumping back to 60. You know that I'm looking for 80 and 20 levels, all right? They are very important. So I do believe that from the fear and greed perspective, there is still room to go down towards 20, and then I will be looking right here at some support levels once the fear is in the market. So if we take a look at the funding rates, it's basically supporting the bias of the cumulative volume delta that I have been talking about. Loads of long positions are right now accumulated in the market. You can monitor this with me on mycryptoparadise.com. We have a special kind of crypto funding rates, accumulated ones, where it gives you better perspective of what's going on in the market. And right now you can see there is loads of long positions sitting, over leveraged long positions, ladies and gentlemen. And what happens when these get liquidated? Well, it will create more selling pressure. So for the market makers, it's enough just to hit some point, some liquidation levels, and then basically they can keep pushing the price to the downside, because when the long position is closed, a new short position is automatically opened, right? And if you short at the top right here, for example, and then you just push in these levels to the downside, the right lower is extremely smooth, because you are just liquidating these levels and they are providing more and more selling liquidity, and then you are doing the opposite at supports, right? So this is extremely important to understand. People right now who are in over leveraged long positions should definitely be moving stop losses to break even, all right, and be very careful about their positions, because if we take a look also at the whale side right now, we can see that the whales that are trading with $50 million plus, they are mostly in short positions, all right, and very little in long positions. However, if we take a look at the small traders at retail, basically the shrimps and fishes, take a look at that. They are mostly in long positions, extremely over leveraged on one side, and usually these whales make money on the shrimps and on the fishes, okay? If we take a look at the liquidation levels, we can see why the $115 is extremely important. There is really indeed loads of liquidation stacked right here down to $110,000, but most extensively it's at $115, and that's probably also why some of the smart whale is having a buy limit order right here. I'm not saying it's gonna hold. I do believe that we might, if we start pushing to the downside, and I will tell you the confirmations we need to have from the technical side, I do believe that this might be a temporary support, but from the medium time frame we can go as down as towards that $110,000. So let's take a look right now at the ultra high time frame, because we need to have some confirmations, right? This is not enough. We need to trade as a professional traders only based on confirmations. That is how we can create the best trading possible signals. But before we jump into the price action development analysis, I also want to share with you this news. Crypto payments become legal in USA. This is a very breaking news, very important news, ladies and gentlemen. And Charles Schwab sets sights on Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs and dollar-backed stablecoin. Very interesting story. Definitely read it on our website, mycryptoparadise.com. So right now, what we can see from the weekly perspective, I'm not gonna talk about this for a very long time because I've been covering this in the previous videos, but basically weekly candle is closing in 1 day and 9 hours, and right now it doesn't look good. It's looking as a shooting star candlestick pattern, ladies and gentlemen. And as you know, the candlestick pattern shooting star is usually at a reversal points after some bullish trend. Okay, so very important to watch how the weekly candle gonna close. Together with that, we are below that $121,000 that we have been with the Paradise team updating you about since June at our free Telegram channel, My Crypto Paradise free. I have told you if the Bitcoin reclaims key resistances, wave B, this one could extend towards $121,000 with very high probability. All right, and as you can see, that's exactly what happened, and right now we are getting rejected exactly from that level. If the candle gonna close below this resistance, this is going to be bearish. Okay, however, if we will start reclaiming back this resistance, this $121,000, and we will start turning it into a support, we will definitely be looking at $135,000 next before some larger correction. And as you know, if we are about to start creating a first wave of an impulse, there's a high probability that we will go towards $44,000 before we can take a look at $240,000 that I believe will hit in the end of 2026, early 2027. Okay, so this is very extremely important. All right, let's right now zoom in inside of this price section. Let's take a look what's going on the daily time frame, because right here we are creating the ABC zigzag. You know that zigzag very well, right? We have been trying to understand where the C wave is going to end. We have done that by calculating the slope of this channel, of this trend line, and we have basically just copied that, and very easily we have placed that at the top of the A wave. Okay, and voila, it gave us the top for the C wave. We have got this beautiful invalidation that also resulted in a shooting star candlestick pattern in the end. And as you already know, these shooting star candles are usually visible at the reversal flow points after some bullish trend. And why is that? It's because the bears been just extremely aggressive. The bulls been pushing the price to the upside, right? But then the bears said no, and pushed the price aggressively down, and that's what created this wick. And it's usually a sign that the bears are beginning to be in a control. Okay, right now let's take a look at some important things, ladies and gentlemen, because we can see we are having VPVR volume profile right here, and that is why you are seeing this small support zone at the support level at this level, because we can see that we have not been able to close a daily candle below this $117 just yet, and I really want to see this to be broken. Okay, if I'm about to say that we are 100% going bearishly towards that $115,000, I want to see a closure of daily candle below the VPVR point of control. As you can see, we are having a nice support right here. If that's gonna be the case, it will confirm this zigzag channel line, and as you know, this is a corrective mode wave pattern which results in continuation to the downside, because corrective mode waves are visible from the Elliott wave perspective against the main trends. All right, so if you want to understand where's the main trade, you need to watch for motive mode waves. If you want to understand what's just against the trend, against the main trend, you need to watch for corrective mode waves. Okay, so right now, if we will not be able to reclaim this ascending trend line resistance, we are extremely bearish, ladies and gentlemen. And if we will not be able to reclaim back the $121,000, we will not revisit that $135,000. I'm saying revisit because I'm talking about these levels for so long, but as you know, we have not touched this level just yet, but it will be the next price discovery level. I'm saying revisit because I'm just used to these levels for so long, but the main point is that if we will be able to reclaim that $121,000, 135 comes next. So extremely important to understand that. However, from the current understanding, and also if we, as you can see, the stochastic RSI is having open legs right now. If the daily candles start closing below the point of control, ladies and gentlemen, we are going down towards the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level at around $109,000. There is also sitting the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level, as you know, extremely important one, exactly at around $108,000. So basically this structure right here will be working very, very extremely well as a demand zone, and obviously for that we will firstly need to have some nice price action, reclaim of this, etc. That's from the trading perspective. From the analysis perspective, this is what you need to know, right? Let's zoom in right now into a 4-hour time frame, into medium time frame chart right now, and what you can see is some similarity what happened already in May. Okay, so take a look what happened in May. You can see we have had some nice bullish trend, and we have been hitting this resistance. As you know, we have been analyzing this resistance for you previously. It was a red color. We have stopped exactly there, right? The same thing is happening right now. We have stopped at the resistance that I have analyzed for you right here, and then I told you we need a bearish retest in order for us to be able to say that we will continue our bear trend to the downside, that we will have this kind of reversal from the bullish trend to the downtrend, right? So that's exactly what happened right here. We have retested that level, we have turned and approved this as a resistance, and that's also what's happening right here. So you can see a retest of the resistance, then a bearish retest, as you can see right here. Well, and right here we have also had some nice confirmations as a double top formation at the resistance right here, and as you can see, something similar is happening on the price action from the lower time frame perspective as well. We actually have like 3 tops right here, so triple top, and obviously if we will be able to hold below this moving average trend line, it's a clear bearish reclaim, and we might continue to go to the downside. Together with that, you can see the volume, right? As we go to the upside, you can see the volume is declining, and as we go to the downside, you can see the volume is above the moving average volume trend line. So this is important to watch out because you understand who is in control thanks to that. Okay, together with that, we are doing some nice pattern. This is head and shoulders pattern. Let me show you. This is a left shoulder, this is a head, and this is a right shoulder. All right, we have a neckline right about here, and ladies and gentlemen, if this neckline is going to break, it will be another confirmation that we are about to start going down towards that $110,000. And from your trading strategy, this is all important information. This is all very important because you know exactly what you need to wait for, what kind of confirmations you need to wait for, and what you can expect, right? So if you're educating yourself how to do technical analysis on our website, mycryptoparadise.com, in our MCP free university, you know exactly how to trade, first of all, these head and shoulders pattern, and also what kind of target to expect, right? So you need to measure the neckline and the head, the length of the neckline between the head, and basically you put your counting tool right here, you take the measurement, and then you put it to the breakout point, and as you can see, it beautifully confluences with the levels I have been talking about, and right now $110,000, 109, 108, basically this zone right here will be working as a very nice demand zone. So I can put a nice rectangle right here, and we can create visually the demand zone that will be acting as a support if the Bitcoin is able to sustain its resistance below the moving average trend line, and we also will have the reclaim of this neckline. After that, you can make beautiful trades, right? You place your stop loss very tight to the entry zone and you are having very wide sell targets, and it's all based on your strategy. So you might be entering right here, you might be entering right here after confirmations, and basically as the price action continues, you just increase or decrease your portfolio exposure, and then it depends on your trading strategy. If you have a professional trading strategy, you are being long-term profitable. If you don't have strategy or you have a poor trading strategy, you are long-term losing money, right? And you are no different than a gambler. But if you have a long-term profitable strategy that you have been backtesting for many years and you are tactically entering your trades, or if you are in ParadiseTeam VIP, you are being long-term profitable, right? So make sure that you have a system how you trade and when you enter your trades. I wish you luck, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Cheers.
My crypto paradise.